we do have to move on. Shoot, I should have kept Kate on, but we're all good. College football storylines, and obviously we can talk about the transfer portal. You talked about Keyshawn Junkins going to Ohio State. Bauman getting the extra year, the 7th year of eligibility to Oklahoma State. I mean, come on.
That's a former Michigan guy too.
Right. So there's different things we can talk about, but there's only one.
There's one.
There's one thing we're gonna talk about. I can't believe it still. I'm still waiting for that gotcha message that said, we're just joking. He'll be back next year. But as of right now, news says Nick Saban has retired from Alabama. 7 natties.
Yeah.
I'm speechless. What did Harbaugh beat him that bad? Did it hurt his feelings that bad? I mean,
I don't know. And there's a bunch of these coaches, the old school coaches, the ones that have been around for a while. Mm-hmm. I think you're going to start to see more of them leave, whether it's retirement or going to the pros like a Jim Harbaugh eventually will, if it's not this year. There's so many of these guys that hate the NIL, hate what the transfer portals become, hate that college football isn't what college football used to be anymore. And I think, we've said all year, even though there was something like 25 5-stars on Saban's team, this felt like one of his least talented teams, maybe ever at Alabama.
Yeah.
And obviously credit to him for still getting into the playoff, knocking off Georgia, all that. But even though it went to overtime and it was a 1-touchdown game, Michigan dominated Alabama for the majority of that game. Right. So you're starting to see, obviously the gap between Alabama and Georgia closed a couple years ago, but now you're starting to see that gap close with a lot of teams at Alabama. So I think this is kind of the thing we talk about with athletes where he retired, I think, at the perfect time because you're going to start, I think had he stayed a couple more years, you're going to start to see Bama slowly kind of drop. Yep. And it's that athlete staying a couple years too late. So I think this was Saban walking away at the right time where he's still, at worst, like the second best coach in college football history. It's him and Bear Bryant are 1 and 2. Right. However you want to dish it, they're 1 and 2. Obviously, whether you're an Alabama fan, even a Michigan State fan, an LSU fan, or fans of rivals of that team, you can't help but just respect what Nick Saban brought to college football, what he did for college football. Mm-hmm. He made Alabama into that brand name again, where even if you don't know college football, you know Alabama and you know that that's an elite program. And there's nothing to say but just thank you, Nick Saban, for what you did for college football.
Oh, absolutely. Whether you were on the buzzsaw side of it, like SEC teams, where he just went through you guys year after year, and he constantly did it that way, or you were one of these teams like a Notre Dame that had this great season, and then it looked like it was you weren't playing anybody. Yeah,
twice against them.
Come on now. And it's crazy because you were, now that the CFP is ended and we're going to the 12 team playoff. They showed, the look at, all the years of who's won the championship. And it would be like, it was Ohio State, Bama, Clemson, Bama, Clemson, Bama. You know what I mean? And then it went down there and it was just like every year. And even the 1 year, the first year of Georgia, Bama was in the game, but still lost the game.
Yeah.
And it just shows, just the absolute greatness. And maybe it is for the simple fact that times are changing and everybody is catching up now. It's not just the Georgia, it's not just the Clemson, it's everybody. And that transfer portal and NIL, coaches are moving. They've always had to live up to that bar. Yeah. You got to be that building up of that dynasty like Saban did. And now you're starting to see teams, these perennial powers, start to do that. And maybe Saban felt his job is done. I got my team up here. I got the least talented team up to this spot. Within we held in regulation against the eventual national champions. It's like I've done what I need to do. And I mean, let's think about this right now. We could be in a year where not only does Saban leave, we don't know what's going on fully with Bill Belichick, if he's going to leave. And then we know Pete Carroll just got shown the door, right? We know what he's done in college, and to this day, he stands as the only coach that's won a national championship and a Super Bowl. So since I don't know if that's all time, maybe that's since a certain point, but no, because Switzer won a national championship and he won a Super Bowl, and then Jimmy Johnson. I don't know if Jimmy Johnson. No, I think he won a national. Did he win Oklahoma State? I think. I
believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. Maybe it was in the last so many years or whatever. But I mean, what else can you say about the man? I mean, it's who all the teams and all the coaches strive to be. And I think the only other question you can ask is who replaces him?
I mean, I think you got to look at the multitude, and this is the other reason Saban's so good. Look at the multitude of coordinators that he sent out to be head coaches elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Lanning, Dabo, Kirby Smart, Jimbo Fisher, and that's just 4. And I mean, he's had Bill O'Brien in and out. Kevin Steele, the defensive coordinator, who had 6 different stints over 40 years, just walked away. There's so many different amazing head coaches that learned from Harbaugh. Steve Sarkisian's another one.
Yeah.
Who was struggling both on and off the field, went to Saban as an assistant, and Saban helped him find the way, built him back up, and now Sarkisian's doing amazing things at Texas. Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss. And I think the other impressive thing is all these guys left and tried to take their shot at taking down Nick Saban. And it happened, 3 times?
Yeah, right. It was Jimbo, it was Kirby, and then that was it, right?
Yeah, I guess, Dabo didn't coach under him. Dabo played at Alabama. That's the difference. Yeah. So that was my third, but Jimbo and Kirby, and that's it. Oh, no, Sarkisian as well. Sarkisian.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry, got him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was just this year, so that,
And how long has he been coaching?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So, I mean, if you look at the betting odds right now on it, in order, the top 4, because it was who was Alabama's head coach in 2024, the odds-on favorite was Nick Saban staying. So, second, Dan Lanning, the head coach at Oregon.
Oh.
Dabo was next. Bill O'Brien was second.
Oh.
Dabo Swinney was third.
Okay.
Mike Norvell was fourth. And next in, jumping from Florida State to Alabama, even though historically Florida State, right now, Alabama is one of the very few places where you leave a job to go for. And fifth, if I'm not mistaken, one Kalen DeBoer that just coached the national championship game. He was up there. I don't know if he was next or 2 down, but he was right there as well. So, I mean, obviously, phenomenal head coaches. Bill O'Brien, he coached at Penn State, if I'm not mistaken, right? He was the one before James Franklin.
I thought so.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have guys that have done really well at the college level, and now it's like, okay, who's stepping up to follow this era's GOAT? Who is doing it? I know I wouldn't want that job personally, trying to follow what Saban did.
No way.
Whoever did it, they got some stones down there. And I can't wait to see who does it, because that is a tall task to follow.
Oh yeah. Scott saying Tom Brady to Alabama.
A Michigan man going to coach there.
He ain't doing that.
I think it's gonna be a former Bama coordinator, or Dabo who played there, is my guess.
This is from our guy, Mr. Alex Schomburg, who he's reacting to that second name on that list, Mr. Dan Lanning, potentially.
Now, to be fair, he was also the betting favorite at A&M and immediately said, I'm not leaving Oregon.
Yeah.
That they're paying me well. I love what's going on here. I love the guys I've got here. So it's going to take a lot to get Dan Lanning to leave. But obviously a school like Bama can get a lot to get him to leave. So
Oregon A&M ain't Bama.